Good morning, students. Welcome to the Physics E-class. So, in the previous lecture, we talked about the combination of resistors. In the previous lecture, we already studied about the combination of the resistors. Right? That means we are having the two types of the combination. One is the parallel combination, and another one is the series combination of the resistor. In the parallel combination, if we are having more than two more than two resistors in our electrical circuits, then how will we calculate the equivalent resistance of the resistors? Then for that we derive the formula, and at last we get the formula to calculate the parallel to the formula for the parallel combination of the resistors, or the equivalent resistance of the resistors, that is 1 upon r equals to 1 upon r equivalent equals to 1 upon r1 plus 1 upon r2. That depends on the number of resistors, whatever number of resistors included in our electrical circuit. Similarly, we are having the series combination of resistors, in which if we are having 2, 3, 4 resistors in the series combination in any of the electrical circuit, then what will be the equivalent resistance of the equivalent resistance of the resistors? So to find out the equivalent resistance of the series combination, we are having R equivalent equals to R1 plus R2 plus R3, and whatever number of resistors that are included in our electrical circuit. So that is our previous topic. We talked already having numerical related to that topic. Now we'll start today the next topic, that is heating effect of electric current. Now, when we talked about heating effect of electric current, what is heating effect? Heating effect of current is basically related to our day-to-day life also. We are having number of electrical appliances in our at our homes, in which we are using the heating effect of electric current. The best example of heating effect of electric current is electric iron. In electric iron, the amount of electrical energy will get converted through the electrical appliance into the heat energy, and that amount of heat energy we use to iron our clothes. Similarly, we are having the concept of the geyser. We are having number of electrical appliances in our day-to-day life. Those are based on the heating effect of electric current. Now, firstly, we will find out what is the heating effect of current. So, whenever any amount of the current flows in any of the electrical circuit or any of the conductor, so some of the when any of the current is flowing in any of the electrical circuit, then electrical energy will generate it, and some of due to the flow of electric current in the conductor. So whenever we are having current in any of the electrical conductor, then that amount of electrical energy generated due to the flow of electric current is converted, some amount of that energy is converted into the heat energy. So some of the electrical circuits we use that energy, and in some of the electrical circuits we don't use. So to consume that amount of energy in a useful manner, we are having many more appliances and many more applications. We are having the concepts of the heating effect of the electric current. So when we summarize the topic, so we can say that when a current flows through a conductor, heat energy is generated in the conductor. This happens due to the conversion of the sum of the electrical energy into the heat energy. Right? So, with respect to this concept, very first, Joules introduced the law of heating. Joules introduced the law of heating. That means Joules states the amount of heat energy generated in any of the electrical circuit depends on the some factors. So, Joules talked about the factor dependency of heat energy. So Joule states that any amount of heat produced in any of the conductor is very first directly proportional to the square of the electric current through it. That means if we write down in the mathematical form, so we can write down H is proportional to I square. That means the more of the electric current flow in the electrical circuit, the more is the amount of heat generated in any of the electrical circuit. That so this is the very first factor, dependency on the heat energy. Then secondly, he talked about any of the heat energy generated in any of the electrical circuit is directly proportional to the resistance of the conductor. So the value of the resistance in any of the conductor, that is directly proportional to the heat energy generated in the electrical circuit. That is H is directly proportional to the R. And thirdly, he talked about the time factor, that tells us about that the in the number of directly heat energy produced in any of the electrical conductor in any of the electrical circuit or the conductor is directly proportional to the time for which electric current flows through the circuit. That means if longer for the longer time, if any of the current flowing through the circuit, then there will be the more amount of heat produced in that particular electrical circuit. Now he talked about these are the three factors in which heat energy is generated in any of the electrical circuit or any of the electrical conductor depends. Now what he do, if we want to calculate the amount of heat energy produced in the any of the conductor, then how will calculate mathematically the value of heat produced in any of the conductor or in any of the electrical circuit. Now what he did he by equating equation 1, 2 and 3, because equation 1, 2 and 3 all equations are directly proportional to the H, that is heat produced. So we can directly combine these three equation, and after combining equation 1, 2 and 3, we can have the equation H is proportional to I square RT. So when we remove that proportionality sign, then we have to add a constant, that is K here. So we can write down H equals to Ki square RT. Now when we talked about the constant included at the right side of the equation, experimentally it is found that the value of the constant added to the right side, the value of that particular constant is 1. So if we place the value, so we will get H equals to I square RT. That means in any of the electrical circuit, if we want to calculate the amount of heat energy produced, so we will directly use this particular formula to calculate the amount of heat produced in any of the conductor or any of the circuit. That this is the one formulation of the Joule's law of heating, or this is one method to calculate the value of Joule's law of heating. Now we are having one another method or one another optional method to calculate, to derive this relation, and this method is also given to you in NCERT books. So what is that method? We will also talk about the second method. So any of the method we can choose to calculate, to derive the formula. So in any of the in the second formulation of this is the optional, so we are having in second formulation, we are having in any of the electrical circuit in which we added the battery key, and we are having a conductor wire and having resistance R, we are having voltmeter to calculate the potential, and we are having a meter to calculate the amount of the current. So when we switch on the battery, or when we close the key or switch on the battery, then what will happen? Current will flow and it will flow through the circuit. So whatever amount of current flowing through the circuit, that will be calculated by the ammeter. Right? And whatever is the potential difference for the electrical conductor or for the wire, we will calculate that amount by the voltmeter. So if we derive this relation H equals to I square RT with the help of this diagram, so we will consider a current, I amount of the current is flowing through the resistor R. I amount of the current is flowing through the resistor R. Let potential difference across it be V. Right? So whatever is the potential difference, amount of the whatever is the potential difference, that is amount is the V. And for the t time, let t be the time during which charges q flows. That means if we switch on the battery and if current start flowing through the circuit, that means charge will move from one point to the another point through the electrical circuit, and suppose the q charges flow for the time t. So if charges will flow from one point to another point, so there will be a potential difference between the 2 points. So we have to do some amount of the work done for the flow of the charge. So when we calculate the amount of the work done for the flow of the charge, the work done will be equals to the work done in moving a charge through the potential difference V. So by the formula of the potential difference, so as we all know that potential difference or any of the potential is always equals to the W upon Q, that means work done per unit charge. So when we simplify that formula in terms of the work done, so formula will be equals to W equals to V into Q. We already studied about that particular formula in the very first lecture. So you will just go through that lecture if you don't remember that formula. After that, after calculating the amount of the work done, we will have the value of the potential and for the charge. So as we know that V is the potential, I is the amount of the current flowing through the circuit, and any of the conductor and conductor having the resistance R. So by the relation of the Ohm's law, we already know that V will be equals to I into R. And if Q amount of charge, if Q amount of charge is flowing through the circuit in time t, so there will be some amount of the current in the electrical circuit. So that amount by the formula of the electric current, as we all know that I will be equals to Q upon T. So Q, we can calculate the value of the Q from there. So we will have I into T. So what we have to do the next, we will place the value of the equation 1 and 2 in equation A. So when we place the value of the equation 1 and 2 in equation A, so we will get W will be equals to I into R into I into T. So when we solve the equation, then we will have W will be equals to the I square RT. And we know that whatever amount of work we have done, so that amount of work done is always equals to the amount of the energy. Now here for doing work, there is a conversion of electrical energy during the motion of the charge. Amount of the electrical energy is generated, but some amount of the electrical energy converted into the heat energy. So that amount of work done will be equals to the heat energy done. So we can write down heat here also. So W will be equals to the H, and from the formula we can write down H equals to I square RT. So in the both method, you can apply one of the method to calculate the Joule's law of heating, derivation of the Joule's law of heating. So this is one of the formula. Now we will talk about the applications of the Joule's law of heating or the heating effect of electric current. So in the applications, very first we are having electric current, electric bulb, electric filament of the bulb, electric heater, electric geyser, all appliances, electric iron, all appliances works on the principle of Joule's law of heating, or all appliances works on the heating effect of the current, and whatever amount of the heat produced any of the appliance, that amount of the heat is calculated by Joule's law of heating, and formula to calculate the amount of the heat, that will be equals to the H equals to I square RT. That means whatever amount of the heat produced in any of the electrical appliance, then we can calculate that amount of the heat by the formula H equals to I square RT. So this is our Joule's law of heating, and that is covered under the topic heating effect of the current. Then after that we are having one numerical based on the topic, that is 100 joule of heat is produced each seemed in the 4 ohm resistance, full stop. Find the potential difference across the resistor. So what is given to you? 100 joule of heat is produced, and we have to calculate the potential difference. That means we have to calculate the value of the V, and what values are given to you in the formula in the question? 100 joule of heat. That means that is the value of the heat or the energy, that is H equals to 100 joule. After that we are having the value of the resistance, that is the 4 ohm. So we are having the value of the R equals to 4 ohm. After that we are having the value of the time also for the each second, each second, that means for every 1 second, so t will be equals to the 1 second. After that we have to calculate, the given values are H, R and T, and we already know that to calculate the value of the V, we have to find out the value of the I electric current and the resistance. So from the given values, firstly we will calculate the value of the electric current by the formula of the Joule's law of heating, that is H equals to I square RT. So when we simplify the formula in terms of the I, so we will get under root H upon RT. Then after that when we place all the values in the equation, then we will get the value of the electric current, that is the 5 ampere current for the circuit. Then after that when we are having the value of the electric current and value of the R is already given to you in the equation question, so we can place the value in the equation of the according to the Ohm's law, that is V equals to I into R. So we'll have V will be equals to 5 into 4, so V will be equals to the 20 volt. So there will be the potential difference of the 20 volt, potential difference of the 20 volt across the resistors. So this is the numerical based on the topic. That's all for today. Thank you.